Buckle up, America. The biggest election lawsuit ever filed in American history is going to trial, and it's going to be epic. We're going to take a look at the ruling. We're going to see how the legacy media has egg all over their face as a result, and make sure to stick them to the very end of this video when I'll show you the bombshells that promise to be revealed at the trial. You're not going to want to miss this. It's official. An Arizona court has officially ruled that Kari Lake can take 2 of her election challenges to trial. Kari's going to have the opportunity to show 2 of her 3 grounds for contesting the election: that ballot printers were tampered with by election officials and that chain of custody rules for ballots were breached, a breach that may have resulted in illegal votes. Now, Judge Peter Thompson did set a very high bar here. His ruling stipulates that Kari Lake, quote, must show at trial that the ballot-on-demand printer malfunctions were intentional and directed to affect the results of the election, and that such actions did actually affect that outcome. Now, to my understanding, that is not what Arizona law requires. If Arizona legal precedent were maintained here, Kari would not have to prove that actual fraud or maladministration of an election took place. All she would have to do is to show that there were enough irregularities, mishaps, mistakes, omissions, or other issues that brought the election outcome into doubt. In other words, all one has to show is that there were fallible, faulty issues during the electoral process, and then show that such fallibility could, and that's the key, could have inordinately affected the outcome of the election. But unfortunately, the bar is being set very high here, very high by this judge. So we're going to have to see how things pan out. But at the very least, this ruling is one big egg in the face of the legacy media, whose outright dismissal of this case is just in keeping with their Democrat propaganda and FBI-directed talking points. They're not reporting news as much as narrative, as far-left woke neo-Marxist narrative that dismisses all things ultra-MAGA as kooky and conspiratorial and the like, when in point of fact, Kari is putting forward one of the biggest election lawsuits in our nation's history. In fact, it's the first election integrity lawsuit to make it to trial. So they just continue to embarrass themselves in all this, the legacy media. Kari Lake tweeted out, "The fake news is in panic mode after a month of them calling us crazy. A brave judge just acknowledged the case has merit. The gaslighting is coming to an end. The sun will be shining tomorrow." The amazing thing here is that a plague of irregularities on Election Day was admitted to by election officials in Maricopa County. They admitted to a faulty election. Things were so bad on Election Day that the Arizona Attorney General's office actually had to get involved. They sent an official letter to Maricopa County officials demanding explanations for the myriad of election issues that raised significant questions as to the county's compliance with state election law. It was widely observed, you all know this, that broken tabulators led to long lines, reportedly turning a number of voters away who either never came back or who did come back only to find that the lines were even longer, and they just said, never mind. The chairman of the Maricopa County elections originally claimed that 20% of voting machines were affected by these irregularities. That number is now reached by some accounts as high as 60%, more than half of the voting machines, and 3 times what we were originally told, according to a memo drafted by an attorney who observed the voting process firsthand. Said, quote, it seems very clear that the printer tabulator failures on Election Day at 62.61% of the vote centers, observed by 11 roving attorneys, and the resulting long lines at a majority of all vote centers led to substantial voter suppression in Maricopa County. And so it's no wonder that the judge ruled in favor of Kari Lake's lawyers, and that this is the first election integrity lawsuit of its kind to go to trial. The trial, I believe, starts tomorrow on December 21st. So they're diving right in, as it were. It's scheduled for 2 days of hearings. And again, just to prepare you, this judge, Judge Thompson, has set the bar very, very high for Kari Lake. He's putting up virtually every obstacle imaginable to frustrate her case, but at least she's getting her day in court. So again, we'll have to see how it all plays out. So what is the court going to hear? What's the evidence that's going to be put forward by Kerry's legal team. You're going to absolutely love it. But first, gang, it is Christmas time, and what could possibly make a better gift for your loved ones than a warm, soft, comfortable MyPillow product from the one and only Mike Lindell. And the best part is you're going to save nearly 70% if you use my special promo code Turley. Promo code Turley will get you the same discounts on all of Mike's nearly 200 MyPillow products. So, for example, if you get the classic MyPillow, which is normally $69.98, if you use promo code Turley, Christmas magic turns that $69.98 into just $19.98. And that applies to over 200 products in their catalog. So don't wait. Click on that link below. Give the gift of comfort and warmth to your loved ones. Support one of America's most amazing patriots, Mike Lindell, and get the best savings ever. Click on that link below right now. According to the Kerry Lake War Room, they have 270 exhibits of evidence. They have eyewitness whistleblowers who were intimately involved in the electoral process. Every one of them is willing to speak to these facts under the penalty of perjury. Over the next 2 days, eyewitness testimony will be presented to the court, focusing on more than 300,000 Arizona ballots without chains of custody, along with the myriad of ballot tabulator issues. According to a report by the National File, at least one election worker will testify that hundreds of thousands of phantom ballots were dropped into Arizona's election results, tilting the scales in favor of Katie Hobbs. Eyewitnesses will testify that Maricopa County election officials permitted the counting of tens of thousands of mail-in and drop box ballots that did not satisfy signature verification requirements, including allowing tens of thousands of ballots with signature mismatches. According to eyewitness testimony as detailed in the original court filing, a number of identified mismatches identified by poll workers, were overturned by someone higher up on the supervisory chain, as it were. In addition, the Kerry Lake team will have the opportunity to inspect the ballots that they won the right to inspect over the weekend. They'll be inspecting samplings from ballot-on-demand printed ballots, early ballots, and ballot-on-demand ballots marked spoiled. So once again, we'll see how things play out here. But if it is a fair trial, Kerry's case should be a very, very strong one. And so we need to pray and hope that in the process, her case convinces more and more people just how utterly horrific the electoral situation is right now in Maricopa County, and hopefully provides a fixed point where confidence and trust can finally be restored. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You will definitely want to check out my latest video on Liz Cheney and the J6 committee humiliating themselves one last time. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.